G'day, Dave here, the Enlightened Plumber, with today's quote. We have no limits to our world. We are limited only by our imagination. We have no limits to our world. We are only limited by our imagination. This is from Bob Ross. Well, let's go in here. Limits to our world. Well, limits are any thought or process we put in front of ourselves to stop us, to stop you or to stop me from doing whatever it is you or I would want to do. Our world is in this place visioning everything that is outside of us. So it could be the physical world, it could be our mental world. So whatever I'm thinking, it could be our physical environment, so whether it's the home world or our work world or our school world or whatever world we have, whatever I see as my world are all the things that involve, move around me or I would see as part of my life. That is my world. So for me, I don't see, say, anything on the other side of the world as part of my world because I have nothing to do with it. I have no relevance for there. I've got no experience there. I've got nothing in. So that doesn't come into my world. My world is my world of work, my family, my home, my friends, my relationships, all those things that are around me are my world. And so those are, I'm limited within that. So unless I broaden my horizons, take more trips, see more places, involve more people, do more things, my world remains the same. So the idea is I want to keep my world expanding. And that's where the second part comes in, saying that we are only limited by our imagination. So if you have the imagination to create wonderful works of art, as Bob say would, or build things with your hand, work things down, sort of like clay models and things like that, or building kits, or working on houses, or writing essays, books, whatever that might be, whatever imagination springs life into yourself, that is what you can get yourself into, and you can expand yourself beyond that. So your imagination allows for growth in your life, and in more areas than one. But most people will see imagination as something to build either creatively on for hobbies or as an aspect for their job. I'm working creatively at using my imagination at getting something done, achieving a project, whatever. But that is where imagination is. And as soon as, I would say the most important person would be you or I for ourselves, respectively, individually. If you or I tell ourselves or tell yourself that you can't do anything, or there's no way around this, there's no solving this, I can't do that, blah, 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 whatever negative sort of closing of a door there is, that's the getting shut down by imagination. So the second part of this quote is, well, we're only limited by our imagination. Well, if we are not telling ourselves that we can't do something, or we don't have a whole whack of people that we're actually listening to telling us that we can't do something, our imagination will just grow and flourish and say, hey, you can do this. What are we gonna do next? Okay, that didn't happen, so now what? We can't go that way, well, let's go this way, or maybe there's a different way, or can we find a way to go over, under, around, through, whatever, right? How are we gonna work this problem, this situation out, and let our imaginations just flow? And for me personally, what I find is a good charge for the imagination is actually having just open conversations with other people where thoughts can just flow freely. And in that sense, that also is where imagination brings in this mastermind concept that Napoleon Hill talked about way back when in his book Think and Grow Rich, which is an awesome piece, because when there's more than one person having a conversation, there's this whole other imagination expansion unit called mastermind that sort of comes in and allows for solutions that maybe on your own you're not going to be able to do. Certainly that's what I've seen and what works for myself. So with that, we have no limits in our world. We are only limited by our imagination. From Bob Ross and myself, Dave, the Enlightened Plumber, have yourself an awesome day. Don't be stuck in a rut. Open that creative thought. Imagine. It's great. See ya.